Hey guys, welcome back to the Metamystic Show. It's great to see everybody through my third eye. Yes, I can see you. I can hear you. I know your secrets. Is she kidding? I mean, I'm kind of kidding. I'm kind of not kidding, but today we're going to talk about I'm thinking about how to word this. The main cards, and for those of you listening, I'm holding up my storyboard right now if you'd like to watch for visuals on YouTube at the Metamystic. The two main cards of this spread, to me, are the King and the Queen of Swords. So let's start off with that, because it is a partnership. Two of Cups between the King and the Queen of Swords. This is how we actively create, because creation can get stuck in the dream realm and never take on a life of its own. That's more of the creative side of things with the Queen of Swords. You could call it feminine energy. It's more of a creative energy, a birthing energy. I'm calling today's episode Together with the Two of Cups. The King and the Queen of Swords, bringing the logic and the creative sides of ourselves, male, female, non-binary, however you identify. These are energies. It's not man and woman. It's feminine and masculine energy. And I know we hear that a lot. And personally, I don't like that terminology. I don't like masculine and feminine energy, but we know what we're talking about, so I'm going to keep it simple for today and not go into a freaking gender study for the first 15 minutes of my episode 3 here. Okay. I'm calling today's episode Together, combining creative and logical thinking to birth a world-changing dream. Okay, so let's start here. Let's start off with the creative side of things. When we are in the Queen of Swords, and let me actually preface this by saying the King and the Queen of Swords in today's reading, not really reading, but in today's cards, this is representative of the mind. Like, you could call it the right and left brain, even though that's actually a fallacy. That whole thing doesn't really exist. Look it up. Type in left, right brain on YouTube and see what you find there. But anyways, again, we know what we're talking about by left and right brain. We're talking about the creative versus the logical, right? Like the musicians and artists and creatives versus the mathematicians and the architects. I mean, architect is kind of like a combination. You know, Tom Petty was going to be a freaking architect. That's crazy. Imagine if Tom Petty became an architect instead of a musician. But that's for another day. Or is it? Is it for today? Because I brought it up. It's like a lot of us can do multiple things, right? Sometimes we are able to almost have these different personas in a way. Some of us may be more logical than we are creative, or the other way around. But some of us are both, and that's what can cause confusion in attempting to birth one particular dream. That's called a multi-potentialite, or really, traditionally, it's called a polymath, which is somebody who has multiple skills, right? So it can be challenging, 7 of Cups, to be able to narrow down a particular path. And we're going to talk about that today. I also want to shamelessly plug dent makers. I am now just taking it upon myself to in every episode so far, I have like shamelessly plugged dent makers because I really believe in the program. It's by Chris Reck. I'll put the link down below. If you're interested, I'm part of it. Basically what it is that it helps you to do exactly what we're talking about, to kind of narrow down and like figure out what all of your talents are and then narrow that down to a plan how you can actually walk that out instead of just keeping it in the dream realm. Because for example, for me, I'm a writer. I write poetry, I write lyrics, I play music, I do a bunch of stuff, right? But at the end of the day, if I don't put this stuff into the tangible realm, and we're going to talk about this Four of Pentacles as well, this is actually a very important card. If we don't make this stuff tangible, then it doesn't really matter if I'm a musician. And I'm not saying that to be mean. It's like it could stay like a quiet hobby that nobody would know that I write music. And that's totally fine. Like say you're a painter and you don't want people to see your work. But my question to you today would be, why? Why are you keeping that to yourself, right? I will give one example though. I love to bake, okay? Years ago, my sister and I, we used to bake literally every weekend, and we just kept working on our skills and getting better and better because we would make these baked goods for my parents' church meetings every weekend. And after a while, we started to get really good. And we were talking about opening up our own bakery. Okay, and I want to stop on that for a second. There is something to be said about having a dream versus like something you just like to do. Like I just like to bake. I'm about to bake chocolate chip cookies for all my friends to come over this weekend. We're going to have a kind of a bonfire, like spooky Halloween bonfire / housewarming party over at my new house. And I'm baking cookies. But, you know, smell delectable. My point with that is you can open a bakery, sure, but some things are just like the people that know me, the people that are close to me, I bake people things. That's just something I do. I don't always have to make money off of it. I think I heard this point from Steal Like an Artist. It was one of his books. He has a trilogy, and it might have been in the second book, but he talked about the fact that like you don't always have to make everything into a business. Sometimes you can just have a hobby. Okay? So that's kind of a disclaimer that I want to give today. Like if you have a beautiful garden and you have some tomatoes, you don't always have to sell those tomatoes. You can give those to friends, okay? So that's different than what we're talking about today. This Seven of Cups for me today is talking about our talents. It's talking about the things that we have at our disposal. We don't always have to turn all of those things into a business. Sometimes it actually strips the joy out of it. Say you're a photographer. You don't have to become a photographer that sells your work. You can just do it for a hobby, obviously. But I'm saying there is a difference here in what I'm talking about today. Today, I'm talking about a different side of that. Like I'm talking about dreams in the sense of like wanting to put things out into the world, right? So if you are a photographer and you post your pictures on your Instagram, that to me is creating, it's birthing a world-changing dream. You don't have to make money off of what you're doing, right? But if you do want to make money off of what you're doing, there is another side to things, right? And that's what I want to talk about today. If it's just the creative, right? Anybody can open an Instagram account. Anybody can put their work out there. For many, many years, I just played music, right? But then about, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago or so, I was paid for my music. And I don't know who I learned this from originally, but basically, once you sell something, you technically become a professional, right? So it's one thing for me to be playing my music Taylor Swift style alone on my bed when I'm like 15 years old while all my friends are like out smoking pot and I'm at home and being like a nerd sitting on my bed playing music. That's one thing. It was another thing when I made $500, and that's not a lot of money technically, but at the time for me, it was a lot of money. I made $500 off of my Bandcamp sales from my album. Then I made money off of my t-shirts. I made money off of pins that I made. This was a few years ago for my album called Beyond. I did this whole campaign. This was back when I had my ministry channel and I had a Patreon, not the one I have now, one for my music, which is now closed. But at the time, I had this program, whatever. I was putting out these packages, which were, and I wish I had it on hand. Do I, Spirit? Where is that? Where is that? Really quick, I'm thinking. I found it. Okay. So I can't show the address, but this is a sample. I was sending it out to my friend in South Africa. So this is an example of a package that I did a few years ago now. Let me first show you, see, this is from my Beyond album. And for those of you listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I apologize. I'm showing visual aids right now. Hop on over to my YouTube channel at The Metamystic if you want to see it. But here's some examples. I made these pins. This is from my album Beyond. It's Gonna Be Okay, is what the pin says. I made these stickers. It says, I want to go home. These are all themes from the album. This was some art that I did. Let's see if I can take it out here. Yeah, see, I have them in this little package here. I'm just showing this as an example. Yeah, this was from my song called Heavenward. You can find all these songs online if you're curious. I still have them posted on my Missy Gordon channel. But I just want to show you an example of like how, okay, so I put out this album Beyond, right? Now that's music. So how do you take something and release it into the world, number one, even if I didn't make a cent off of this stuff? In my opinion, because this is what I would say to you as well with any talent that you have, putting that out into the world, that's enough. You've done what you came here to do. Another way to look at it is that's just your natural essence emanating from the soul, the blueprint, the essence, the perfume of who you are as an individual has been experienced by others no matter what. But today, I want to take it a little bit further for creatives who are looking to, I don't want to say capitalize off of your work. I know it's a hard topic. It is for me still. Even after all these years, because I was a Christian minister, I pretty much took a freaking vow of poverty years ago, even though I didn't literally. But in my soul, I feel like I took a vow of poverty. And look, because I was somebody that, and I'm going to get to this, but I was somebody that was planning to become a missionary. I was imagining that I was going to be in some sort of a mud hut somewhere with no money and no clothes, helping the poor, the children. I thought that was going to be my life. And even I'm tearing up even now because thinking about it, that to me, there couldn't be there didn't seem to be anything more valuable than that to me at that time. And what blew my mind, and that's why I'm talking about all this today, what blew my mind, King and Queen of Swords, both sides of my mind, is that Spirit actually called me to do something different, right? Because I'm not in Mozambique, Africa right now. Speaking of, I'm pulling this artwork out from my song Everything Changes, which is probably my favorite song off of that album. Let me see if I can get the artwork out of here. Show you guys. Yeah. So I offered these packages. It was the artwork. I wrote out handwritten lyrics. This was just the package that I was offering at that time. So I did the handwritten lyrics. I did the artwork. I got these stickers made from, where did I get these made? Spirit, what was it called? It'll come to me, guys. Sticker Mule. It's called Sticker Mule. And everything that I've had made from them, I got these buttons from them as well. Everything has been high quality, not sponsored, just my opinion. Anyways, I did a little thank you note. I did this thing, favorites, where it was this kind of like little quote and song of the month and whatever. So I put these little packages together just as an example. Let me see if I can show you anything else. I really liked this piece that I did. This was called Heavenward. I drew that. This is all taped up. I don't really want to ruin it because this is my only sample that I have left, but okay, I got it. Oh yeah, this was for my song Rose of Sharon that I did. These are watercolor. See, I did the handwritten lyrics for this as well. Anyways, guys, just wanted to give you some tangible examples. I'm an earth sign, so here we go. But my point was saying all of this, though. Oh. I just dropped all my buttons. But my point was saying all of this is like, let's just do this. This was something I had in my mind, this idea. This artwork, it's going to be okay. It was from one of my songs. It went from in my mind, King and Queen of Swords, into something tangible. Let's take out 4 of them with this 4 of Pentacles. Into something tangible literally in my hand right now. These buttons, right? And this could be anything for you. My viewpoint is that any skill that you have, any skill, anything in the world, you can make something tangible out of that and sell that. Like, you can bring to life anything. You can bring anything into the 3D, even if it's just this like whimsical mindset that you have. Okay, I don't even know. It's like, say you wish that apples were purple. You can find a way to create a purple apple. That's a dumb example, but I'm just saying, it's like, even if you're not that creative, my opinion, you can take anything, bring it into the 3D world. That's number one. And even if you don't make a cent off of it, you've done something to materialize your soul in this realm. My left ear is ringing really loud right now as I'm saying this. But the step 2, and this is for those of you who are my creatives that also want to be able to sell your work. I truly believe you can make anything into a product. And I wouldn't suggest doing that for everything, but I'm a Capricorn North Node in the 5th house. And literally the definition of that is like taking your hobbies and putting them into a career, which is what I'm doing. So I'm like the poster child for this notion where it's like I could write an album, make some buttons, sell my music on Bandcamp, start a Patreon. I actually had this idea that didn't go all the way through, but I'll do it again later, which is to create an NFT and then have the music embedded into that NFT anyways. Just as like another option for like where we're heading in the future here. Another example that I've shown you guys many times. I created this merch for my show. I have these t-shirts. I have my coffee mug. I have this glass, which you can buy on my Etsy shop, by the way, at etsy.com/shop/themetaMystic. Thank you for supporting the show. My point is, do not discount how valuable your ideas are, King and Queen of Swords. Like, you may think that, oh, they're just ideas or they're just hobbies I have. But what if you could turn those things, those hobbies, those dreams, 7 of Cups, those talents, 7 of Cups is how it's coming through for me today, into something 4 of Pentacles tangible. And you don't need a lot of money to do it. I'm telling you right now. I don't know, I think this came with maybe it came with 50 or 25 buttons. And I don't remember how much it cost, but it was 4 of Pentacles. It wasn't that much money, right? Oh, well, what if I make all this stuff and then I don't sell it? Try it. I learned from... I'm losing names, I'm losing dates, I'm losing locations because my freaking COVID brain right now. Come on, guys. Skip the line. Why can't I think of your name, brother? Where's Chris Reck when I need him? The man who wrote Skip the Line. I'm sorry that I'm forgetting his name right now. It's because I still have freaking COVID. Anyways, I learned from him to test things out. Like, make up a, I'm sorry, guys. Just give me a second here. I gotta compose. Make a prototype and then test it out. Like, do people want this? At the time when I was offering these, yes, people wanted them. And I saw that people wanted them, right? So you're never going to know unless you try. And I would suggest start small, because 4 of Pentacles is coming through for me a couple ways in this episode. It's coming through for me for people, including myself, many, many times, who have said, I want to do something. I want to make something tangible, but I don't have the money to do it. Four of Pentacles is like, it's not that much money. It's feeling like you don't have much money. It's feeling like you need to preserve the money that you have, and you can't really spare much, right? So the first thing I want to say is for people that feel like you don't have a lot of money, do what you can with the least amount of money as possible to make something tangible. Okay. Step 2 to that, I would say, then test it out. Like, offer something. Give these out to friends. Like, I gave all of my friends these buttons. I put these stickers on my journals and stuff. Like, I made it real. Like, make your manifestations real. That's what a manifestation is. It's something that starts in the mind, King and Queen of Swords, and it's birthed, the World card, out into something tangible, Four of Pentacles, where before it was just Seven of Cups. It was just in the dream realm. It was just in the liminal space between an idea existing in your mind and then existing in the 3D world, right? So, the second thing that I want to say with this Four of Pentacles is like, this is also saying to me that you don't need much money to try stuff out. Like, I would suggest be like dumb about it. Like, I've done stuff like this before. Like, say I was gonna test out this Meta Show mug. Say I did not have the money to get this made. And I got this made through Printify, by the way. Anybody who's curious, not sponsored, just sharing some tips. It's a middleman. It's drop shipping. So if you are not wanting to ship stuff yourself, like when I was doing this Patreon thing, I brought these all to the post office myself, right? With these, I'm using a drop shipper, which is a middleman, which means I created this design, I connected it to my Etsy shop, and now whoever orders these, it will just be shipped to them directly from the distributor. You can do a lot of research on YouTube about drop shipping. You're gonna see a lot of like theatrical stuff about make $1 million with drop shipping. Okay, you know what I mean? Love and light. I want us all to make $1 million with drop shipping. I'm just saying, it's like, but say you don't even have the $30 to test this out, like to create this vector that I made, the Meta Show, on this mug. I did it on Canva. I have a Canva account. I think it's like $12.99 a month. You can also use the free version, but I use the paid, again, not sponsored, to create this, right? Then you create it through Canva. And then you go through a middleman, which I happen to use Printify. You go in there, you test your design on the products that they offer, they're blank products, and then you can see an example of how this will look. When I order this, I pay for it myself. I pay for the shipping. I pay for the cup to come to me. But say I didn't have the $30, okay? This is back to my like really dumb lo-fi example. Say I had an old mug in my house, which I do, and I just wanted to test something out, to take it out of my mind, King and Queen of Swords, and take it out of my dreams, Seven of Cups, and make it a reality, Four of Pentacles. How do I do that? Be lo-fi about it. Like, be silly about it. Take an old mug, take a freaking Sharpie, and write the Meta Show on the front of that. Or go to Dollar Tree or whatever. Go to a freaking dollar store, buy a $1 mug, and test it, write out on it. And then so you can be holding it in your hand, and it's worth $1 million, in my opinion, to have a prototype, because it takes something out of the dream realm and it brings it into reality. Even if it seems a little bit silly, like, oh, it looks bad, Missy. I don't just want like a Sharpie cup. I want it to look good. I want it to look high quality. We can get to that. You know what I'm saying? Let's just start off with what we got. Four of Pentacles. So there's no excuse for your mind. King and Queen of Swords. We can outsmart our own minds. And I talked about this in episode 1. Escaping that Eight of Swords. Like, we can get trapped in the mind games of our own mind. Our brains are very intelligent. We can talk ourselves out of our dreams for the rest of our damn lives. Seven of Cups. And stay stuck. Four of Pentacles. Instead of being stuck in the Four of Pentacles, oh, I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. I don't have a way. We all have a way. We need to just like get back to that childlike way about us. Get back to the crayons. Get back to painting with your fingertips again. Right? And just try some shit out. It doesn't have to be super high quality. It can be silly. And then later, when you have the money, you can actually create things, right? That are more to your liking. But for me, I feel like it is worth, even if nobody buys this merch, I use it every single day on purpose, literally. I mean, I do just like these items myself, but I purposely drink out of this cup so that I see this product every day and I bring it further into reality. This idea could have stayed trapped in the dream space for the rest of my life, but now that I have this here, it's real. It makes your dreams real. That's my challenge to you. Take a dream and make it tangible in some small way. Now let's go one layer deeper. Now that we've talked about the practical aspect, that you can take something like your music and make it into something tangible. I want to go one layer deeper and talk about how. Like, how do we do this stuff? Speaking of, I do have a song that I want to play for you guys at the end of this episode that I wrote just for this episode. It's called Together, and I'm really excited for you guys to hear it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I will play it at the end of this episode. Okay, so let's go one layer deeper. This Two of Cups with the King and Queen of Swords, right? How do we marry these two? How do we bring together the logical and the creative sides of us? Male, female, and non-binary, however you identify. This is not about gender. This is about bringing together both things, because we have to actually have time to be creative. Let me just keep it super practical. The song that I wrote for this episode, I have an idea in my head, Seven of Cups. I have an ability. I have the ability to play guitar. I have the ability to write a song, right? And I'm thinking in my head, wow, wouldn't it be nice to the World card plus the Seven of Cups? Wouldn't it be nice to world birth some of my Seven of Cups musical talent into my episode? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, but how do I actually go about that? Right? I can tell you guys, oh, I'm a musician, I write all these songs, but if you've never heard me play a damn thing, then it's just all talk. Like, it's all in my mind. Yeah, but I'm a musician, guys. Okay, then play us something. And I'm not saying, you guys know what I mean. I'm just trying to make a point here. I'm not pressuring anybody. Shout out to Santero. I tried to get her to play a cover. I saw her guitar behind her. I love you, San. I saw her guitar and I was like, play us a cover, San. I'm not trying to pressure anybody. I'm just saying, I'm just being dumb. I'm using an example saying, like, if I have something in my mind, like, I want to play a song for this episode, I want to write a song for this episode 3, How do I do that? Well, write the song, Missy. Yeah, but it's not that simple, is it? Because why don't we just do stuff? Right? Oh, I'm a cook. Okay, but why don't you just cook? Oh, I don't have time. I don't have the resources. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. These are the very simple, really stupid things that stop us, and I'm not saying that people don't actually have the money to do the things that they need to do. Like, ingredients are expensive. Buying a new guitar is expensive, right? So I get that. But I'm talking about people right now, right here, right now, who just kind of do stuff. Seven of Cups. You're already doing stuff. This is not some like crazy thing that, like, take this for example. I have 4 balls of really like high quality yarn out in my new living room that I found in a box way back in my apartment closet before I moved here. And I had these big dreams of like knitting this big, beautiful blanket that I could like sit with and meditate with and stuff. And I watched all these YouTube videos on how to knit, and I actually got pretty good at it, right? But it kind of just fizzled out. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. That's an example of like, oh, I had a dream to do that, and I'm not saying I couldn't have done that, but there's a reason it kind of fizzled out. Maybe I'll get back to it someday when I have more time. I'm talking to people today. You already do stuff naturally. Sorry guys, my camera got cut off, but basically what I'm trying to say here is I'm talking today about stuff that you just already do naturally. This is not like, oh, I want to learn how to ski, and I've never skied a day in my life. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm not just trying to discourage you to not do that. But today I'm trying to be practical. I'm trying to be down to earth. I'm a realist. We're realists on the Metamystic channel, okay? 4 of Pentacles. This is stuff that you already are good at, that you already do. Like for me, I play music. Now, for me to write a song for this episode, and that's what I'm trying to get to, how do I do that? Well, just write the song, Missy. Okay, but it's not that simple, and that's my point, because why don't we do this stuff? Right? When did my last album come out? My last album was called Wilted, and there was a period of time, was it in 2022? I think it was 2022 that I put out 4 EPs. See, I don't even remember. And for me, like when I get in the zone, I can just like create. But I haven't put out a lot of stuff this year, right? And that's made me sad. Okay, so my point is like, okay, well, Missy, why didn't you do it? Lots of reasons. Didn't have time is the main one. 4 of Pentacles. But I decided to get back to my writing again, even though I'm not putting a formal album together right now. So far, I wrote that song 8 of Swords for the first episode. Then I wrote Belly of the Beast for the second one, and now I wrote this song Together for this third episode. And I'm not saying this to be like, look at how amazing I am and look at all my songs. I'm saying it like I was able to get back in the swing of writing again through what I'm about to say. 'Cause like, how do you do it? How do you do things? You need time. Okay, well, I don't have time. Okay, and that's part of it. It's like, you know, it's like somebody saying, well, I don't have time to work out, right? Conveniently, we don't have time to do things, right? Because there are people who travel for their career and are living out of suitcases and living in hotels and barely get any sleep, and yet they use like the hotel gym to still work out. So my point is not to be a hard ass in what I'm saying. My point is I'm talking about priorities. I'm talking about How do we actually do this shit? That's my point. It's like, because a lot of us have these big dreams, and I'm talking to people today. You already do something, but you want to take it to the next level. You want to make it tangible, right? And how do you do that? It's combining the King and the Queen of Swords. It's marrying these two things with the Two of Cups. So, for example, it's like I had to, with this Queen of Swords, which is the creative side of things, I had to actually, it took me a couple hours from start to finish to write this song that I'm going to play at the end of this episode. Stay tuned for that. It's called Together. I wrote this song yesterday. It took me a few hours, but I had to foster with this world energy here, which is interesting because the world is the feminine and the masculine in one being. So we have to combine these two things to actually birth something. But I had to actually take some time to like sit in my creative space, Seven of Cups, sit in that kind of creative realm, right? And I got out my, let me move all this stuff. Okay, here we are. So I have this big sketch pad here, and I had to actually like take a little time to jam on my guitar, you know, to play a little bit, to kind of get in this feeling of like, all right, I'm writing a new song. Actually, what I did specifically for writing this song is I pulled these cards first. Once I had the story, that's when I got my guitar out, right? I'm being like anal with the way that I'm explaining this, because it's like I could say to you guys, oh, I'm a musician. I have all my guitars right in front of me right now. I write music. You know, it's like, okay, I want to write a song for this episode. So how do I do that? What I'm saying right now. Well, Missy, that's just like common sense. But it's not though. Right? It's not. I don't know. I'm not trying to be like anyways. So started jamming on my guitar. Then with the cards in front of me, kind of giving myself some time, just sitting in that 5 minutes, just kind of like allowing for that to happen, creating that space. And this could be anything for you. It doesn't have to be music, but give it a minute, like enjoy it, get in the flow. Then I started writing the lyrics. Really what I do actually before I write a damn thing down is I have my phone out and I open the voice memos and I start recording myself. So then I can listen back to it and then I write it down. So like, say for example, you have an idea that you want to put a speech together. Pop out that voice memos, just kind of chill on your couch, have that thing recording, just act like it's not even there and just start talking a little bit. Start talking for like 5 minutes and just be like, oh, I think I'm going to talk about like electromagnetism, and I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about that, and I think I might talk about this, and then this, and then this, and then just listen back to it. This is a process that I go through, whether it works for you or not. I'm just sharing a process that I go through. I listen back to it, and that kind of continues that creative process. Then from that point, you can kind of take down some bullet points. Or for me, let's get back to the song, I listened back, and I don't always take it all. Like, see how this, and for those listening, I apologize, watch again on the Metamystic YouTube channel. See this part that's circled? This was like an alternative chorus that I decided to cut. So I played it back, and once I heard it, and I heard that the song was too long, it was like almost 6 minutes long, I was like, all right, we'll cut that part out, right? And then I streamlined the chorus, I streamlined the rest of the song, and then I put all of the chords in there, I wrote it all out. Now And then I recorded it on my voice memos as a full song, and I listened back to it like 3 times last night because I just wrote this thing, right? I literally wrote this yesterday, and then I recorded, which you're going to see at the end of this, I recorded it today. Okay, but last night what I did was I kind of just got it more in my brain. I listened to it a few times, and so that today when I played it, it's like I subconsciously already kind of have the melody inside of me. So I know how it sounds, right? So that by the time I actually played it, I've already been listening to it from my recording. Now it's written down. It's something tangible. It says Together by Missy Gordon Honeybee. By the way, Honeybee is my other music name that I have. If you guys want to listen to the songs only from these episodes, I'm going to be posting them on my Honeybee channel at Honeybee Music if you're curious to listen to those. But my point is, like, this went from, well, I want to write a song to this episode, to the entire process that I just explained, to me holding this in my hand right now with chords and lyrics, and it exists, and now I recorded it today, and I'm putting it in this episode for you to listen to, right? But all of that takes a process, and it takes this feminine and masculine energy. Like, it's not just in the dream space, it's making it a reality with the King of Swords, which is making it tangible, making it something real, Four of Pentacles, and birthing our dreams into the world with the world. And I'll say one more thing on this Four of Pentacles. For example, when I recorded this song about an hour before I recorded this episode, I had to record it like 3 times because of my breathing. Like, I was really having a hard time singing this song today. And for a minute, Four of Pentacles, I was like, maybe I won't play it because I want people to think I'm a good singer. And I'm just being transparent with you guys. I want people to see my talent. 7 of Cups. You know, I don't want people to think I suck. I don't want people to think that I'm just saying I'm a musician and I'm actually like not that great. You know, all these insecurities can come up, which to me can come through on the Four of Pentacles, is insecurities, holding back, withholding our talents. 7 of Cups. I saw this meme earlier. I think it was from Lewis Howells. Is that his last name, guys? Anyways. I saw this meme earlier today that he posted, and it said something like, there are people out here right now with half the talent that you have that are out here killing it. I'm paraphrasing. That are out here doing way more than you are right now, and you have double the talent that they have right now. Like, we don't have any excuse to withhold Four of Pentacles, to be insecure. It's like, okay, maybe my voice wasn't its best today. I'm having a hard time breathing, which I have been for the past freaking month. Send me healing vibes, thank you. I could have easily, after the 3rd time recording, I could have just been like, all right, I'm not doing this. I'm having insecurity issues. I want people to think I'm amazing, and I'm not at my best today. But instead of that, I was like, no, what am I? Sometimes I snap out of it. And I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm a Virgo stellium, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter if my voice is off. If I was playing a live show tonight, I'm playing a live show. The song comes out as it comes out. So I try to just live my life that way to the best of my freaking ability, where it's like, I recorded this song today. I'm just using this as an example, guys. I'm not I'm not saying all this for any weird reason. I'm just saying it like as an example. I recorded this song for this episode. I had some issues recording it. I finally decided, you know what? The song is there, the essence is there, people can hear the melody, you know, and I can record it better down the line. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier with like literally taking a Sharpie and writing the Metamystic Show on a dollar mug that I got from the dollar store to make it tangible. Same thing as, okay, maybe I'm not at my 100% lung capacity today, but I really wanted to put this song, because I literally wrote this song for you guys for this episode called Together, Two of Cups and King and Queen of Swords, bringing these two sides of ourselves together. This song is all about that. It's about bringing those two sides together so that we can live our dreams, right? Things don't have to be perfect, and I'm telling you guys, I have really, really, really had a problem with that my entire life because I'm a Virgo stellium, number one. And number two, it comes from insecurity. It comes from past traumas. It comes from years of me performing my music, and I'm not going to name who it was, but somebody in my family was always just like, I can't hear you, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. You need to sing louder. You need to do this. You need to do that. And so, in love and light, you know who you are, and I love you. But my point was saying that is like, we can also have like traumas coming up from our past where like I've had times where I've been performing a song live, and even if that person wasn't there, I remembered that, and I thought about myself like, wow, I'm not singing loud enough. I'm not looking right. I'm insecure. I'm all these things. But at the end of the day, I got up on that stage and sang. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I recorded this song today, even though I wasn't at my best. And I'm saying that for you. I'm saying that I could easily, Four of Pentacles, just keep this to myself, right? Or, which is what I did do, record it anyway. So that's my encouragement to you guys today. Do, even if it's in the smallest possible way, Four of Pentacles. Really, this episode is kind of turning more into this Four of Pentacles. I feel like I've talked a lot about this Four of Pentacles, when really I thought this episode was King and Queen of Swords, which it is. King and Queen of Swords is the process. It's the creative aspect, and then making it tangible with the King of Swords, like I've done here with the song. Like, it could have just stayed in the creative space, but then I put it out. I recorded the rough version on my voice memos on my phone. Then I recorded the better version with my microphone in my studio. King of Swords, right? So, anyone can do anything they want to do. That's the reality. But why don't we do it? Well, for a lot of the reasons we talked about in this episode, right? You know, it's sometimes it's the easiest things in life. It's like it's simple, but it's not easy, is my point really. It's like, oh, I'm a musician. I can throw a song together for an episode, but why don't we do it? You know, you have your own thing. And it's really just a matter of fostering, Seven of Cups, that creative environment with what you already have, and then making it into something tangible, Four of Pentacles, to the best of your ability, even if it's not that great. To be honest with you, it's probably like that meme that I mentioned from Lewis Howells. Is his name Howells? Why am I saying, is it Howell? I think it's Howell. I'm sorry. I like your podcast. But anyways, it's like at the end of the day, there are people out here with half of your talent. Let's put a little lip gloss on here because this is tough love. There are people out here with half your talent that are doing better than you, that are making money on stuff that you could be making money on, that are putting out content, that are releasing their art. And we're sitting like sniffling in our bedrooms. Why does nobody love us? Why does nobody support us? Which is something that I did for the majority of my freaking life until I started doing the things that I wanted to do, right? Like, it's not about, like, nobody likes me, nobody loves me, nobody thinks I'm talented or good. I learned this from Gary Vee. Nobody even knows who you are. It's not rude. It's not mean. It's just reality. It's like we gotta put ourselves out there. Even if it like is lo-fi, even if it's the Sharpie on the mug, even if it's the COVID breathing version of my song. Hey, at least it's out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's, I'm going to end on that. That's the summation of this episode. I love you guys so much. I would love to have you also listen to this episode if you are in your car or if you're at the gym or whatever. You can always listen to all of these episodes on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And for those listening, you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel at The Metamystic. If you guys want to support the channel, you can, first of all, you can donate. I'm trying to get a new camera and new lighting and update my studio here. So if anybody wants to donate, links are in the description. You can also purchase merch, as always, through my Etsy shop. Thank you all. Like, comment, subscribe. YouTube currency, as you know. I love you all, and I will see you on the next one. Here's my song, Together. You and me and you, where are we gonna go? Traveling, dreaming, holding on to what we know. We're merging souls. Hold me close as we go. Higher than before. Look how high we soar. Higher than before. Together. Here we are, there we were. Look at where we're going. Through the trees, autumn leaves, leaving summer behind. All my dreams feel right as the sun sets tonight. Higher than before. Look how high we soar. Higher than before. Together. Looking down from the astral plane, all of the can we go? Higher than before, look how high we soar. Higher than before, together. Gonna put some selenite on the throat after that. Universe is just trying to keep this Leo stellium humble with this COVID, bruh. And the Virgo stellium is like, how dare you play a song when your voice is all crazy? And the Leo is like, we're still fabulous. Let's just do it anyway, even though we can barely breathe. So, thank you, everyone. That was called Together. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you on the next one.